So I am recording on one of the cameras I'm going to be doing a comparison with. Right now it is the Pocket 3. But in the meantime, of course, we've got our competitors here. We've got the DJI Action 4, which I want to use before I do sell this. And then of course the brand new DJI Action 5 Pro, which is going to be exciting to see how she handles in the evening. And bonus footage, I will be adding the Pocket 3 because I know a lot of you not only want to see the two Actions compared, but you also want to look at that Pocket 3 footage. So I'm going to be throwing up different settings at each of the intervals of the different comparisons for you all to kind of get to see how they handle. So without further ado, let's get this started. All right, folks, here we go. We got the Action 4, the Action 5 Pro, and the Pocket 3. And just taking a quick cursory check. Yeah, the Pocket 3 is definitely almost too bright. I would say when I actually walked last night in this area, the Action 5 looked to show the best rendition of the actual, what it looked like when you were there. It is a bit darker than the other two, but let's take a look. I mean, I feel like, okay, see there, the Pocket 3, I think the ISO range is probably too high with the 100 to 1600. Let's see. Yeah, see across the street, you can see the signs better on the Action 5 Pro. That's interesting. I see, it looks like the Action 4 is just a bit softer, you know, a little bit more noise it seems. The Action 5 does look a bit sharper. I don't have a denoiser program. Here we got the Pocket 3. Yeah, it's definitely exposing the face better. The Action cameras are hurting, but they are small little cameras. But even in the back of the Action 5 Pro, you can see the details of everything much clearer than the 4 and the and the Pocket 3. So here we got the factory settings. Let's take a look here. Factory settings, interesting. So we don't have the 4x shutter speed, but just on factory settings, the 5 Pro is brighter. Here we've got some jello effect a little bit, but the Action 4 Pro is not doing that bad on factory settings. Here we got the Action 5. It seems like the Action 5 is making things a bit too bright. I mean, not the Action, yeah, the Action 5 Pro. Pocket 3, that's weird why there's a jello effect there. It looks a little bit like a smartphone on this factory settings for the Pocket 3. I don't like it. Here we've got the Action 5 is clearer. Yeah, you can see the signs on the back across the street better on the Action 5 Pro. Even on the factory settings, there's something they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they made that better than the Action 4. Interesting. Yeah, it is a bit too bright though on the factory settings for the Action 5 Pro. Ooh, there it looks really bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess the best thing to do is just don't use factory settings for these cameras. 5 looks the most detailed, but it's a little bit bright. Action 4 actually looks more realistic in terms of overall, like... Okay, so here we've got the normal color profile. So I didn't want to do D-Log, I wanted to do normal color, and this is very interesting. Pocket 3 is really too bright. Action 4 looks a little soft compared to the Action 5. On the normal color profile, Action 5 Pro seems to be giving us the best reproduction of what it really looked like that night. This seems to be a recurring thing. The Pocket 3, again, the ISO range must be hurting it. But there it's getting the signs across the street good there. But when compared to the Action 5 Pro, wow, I don't know what they're doing. Like, see again, the signs on the back on the other side, they're just clear. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're doing that. Let's look at the Action 5 here. Yeah, I don't know, folks. The Action 5 Pro is actually impressing me. I know I'm a little dark here and it's not exposing the face as well as I obviously like the Pocket 3. And you get the bokeh effect with the Pocket 3, the tone. But yeah, like look at the details behind me on the Action 5 Pro compared to the Action 4. That's really impressive. Okay, so we've got HLG. Now, I am not that well versed with HLG. The Action 4 doesn't even have the option, but I did. Wow, this is interesting. HLG almost looks better on the Action 5 Pro. So what I did with Final Cut is I did not apply a DJI LUT, but I did do like an automatic Final Cut like color correction. Here, the Pocket 3, I did put the Pocket 3 LUT as well as another auto correction on the colors for the Pocket 3. The Action 5 Pro, I'm not an expert on HLG. I know it has to do with HDR, but maybe you guys could let me know down below what HLG does. But see, again, the Action 5 Pro, ooh, there it's a little bit too bright. Oh, that's interesting. It looks faded almost. There it looks, on the Pocket 3, it's not a great shot of my face, but colors definitely are punchier across the board on HLG. I don't really know when to use HLG, but honestly, it doesn't look bad. Okay, here I wanted to do a comparison of having motion blur versus having the shutter speed. And this is for you folks that want to know if quadrupling that shutter speed, comparing it to doing 4K 30 over 160 or 4K 30 over 120. So here, especially when you blow up the screen, yeah, that motion blur, yeah, during the daytime, it's probably not going to be too bad. But here, even with the Action 4, it's looking a bit better. I actually, when I normally record, I record in 4K 60. It's just, everything just seems a bit smoother. The Action 5, yeah, it's got the jello going on, the micro jitters. There, it looks really good though, with that 4x shutter speed. I don't know, I should do like a 4K 60, because normally, especially during the daytime, I will always record in 4K 60. But I wanted to do 4K 30 for you all this time around. When you're actually doing like a selfie shot, the motion blur isn't this bad. Okay, so we've got the ISO ranges. So, okay, this I wanted to do, I did D-Log M here, and I wanted to bump up the ISO range because I thought maybe it was a little bit too dark, at least on the screens I was looking at. But honestly, the 1600 doesn't seem too bad. The 3200, it's making things brighter, but at least from the naked eye, it looks a little soft and noisy. Again, I don't have the noiser or whatever you call that to take off the noise on the video. But the Action 5 at 1600 range, up to 1600 range, is a more like realistic to what it looked like. But the 3200 doesn't look too bad. Let's look at them side by side here. Yeah, I like the Action 5 Pro ISO 100 to 1600. But I think it's best for you guys to try to make this a 4K setting on your YouTube settings. Okay, let's see. Just looking at it, I feel like the 5 definitely looks better than the 4. So I know if you don't want to upgrade, the 4 is not killing you. I mean, I live with it, but I am liking the 5. Like the 3200 on the 4 looks a little bit better, but it is a bit noisier, right? So here we've got the Action 5 at 1600 range. This looks pretty realistic to what it actually looked like And this is actually just too bright. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to try it out just to see what it would look like, but that looks too bright. Yeah, I mean, it looks like sometimes here the Action 4 seems to expose the face better for some reason. I don't know. Just got done with comparing the Action 4, the Action 5, and the Pocket 3. I hope this was enlightening. I hope it kind of shed some light into answering some of those questions you might all have. And just a little disclaimer, I use the Pocket 3 and the Action cameras specifically more or less to vlog. I don't really use my Action cameras for like scuba diving, canoeing, mountain biking. I use it for vlogging. And so for some of you who like to use kind of the small footprint of the Action and use it as a vlog style camera, this would have been a really good help for you. But I wanted to, before I get going, I'm gonna be putting a little bit of a bonus footage. I know I compared the Actions with the Pocket, but a couple nights ago, I did a night walk, and I didn't like how I ended up doing it, so I redid it for tonight. But in that footage, I had already forgotten something again today. I brought a specific gimbal, a Hohem Steady gimbal made for Action cameras, and I put the Action 5 on that, and I pitted it against the Pocket 3. So I'm going to throw that footage as bonus footage at the very end. But in the meantime, you all, I just, man, I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It's been fun having the new camera. Kind of gives me an excuse to share with all of you my findings. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you so much. God bless. Peace. Okay, folks, we are on 10-bit normal color profile for both the Pocket 3 on my left and the Action 5 on my right. We are still doing the 4K 31/60, 100 to 3200 ISO, -2 sharpness, -1 noise reduction. But here we go. Now, at least from what I can see on the Action 5, things are looking a bit brighter on the normal color profile. But this is, I guess this is what I'm trying to point out. The versatility of the Action camera. If you've got a gimbal that will fit an Action camera, you kind of get the best of both worlds. As I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, you get the ability to get really crispy, not crispy, but really great. Hopefully it looks good, balancing, not having to worry about the electronic image stabilization, and you can use the advantage of a gimbal. But the only setback in the past was the sensor size. Now I'm going into a little bit of a darker area, so this is where the Pocket might prove itself worthy. But with the Action 4 series, on a night walk I did, you could certainly see the difference between the sensor sizes. And I'm curious now, it's a little windy here, but I'm curious how in this darker area, how is our Action 5 holding up? Even though it's the same size sensor as this Action 4, this is where I'm really interested to see how it's gonna hold up versus the Pocket 3. Anyways, I know this is not as exhaustive as I wanted it to be, but I'm on a little bit of a time crunch here. I got a busy weekend, and this may not even come out before the weekend, but I'm doing my best, folks. I really want to help you all decide if this is a camera that you want to pick up, whether it's the Action 5 or the Pocket 3. Honestly, for myself, I'm blessed because I can have both of them and they complement each other quite well. But can a person get by with just the Action 5 and bring a gimbal with them if they don't have a Pocket 3, but they want that gimbal stabilization, yet they want the versatility of what an action camera can do? Granted, the sensor, it's not the same. It's not going to give you any bokeh tone, but sadly, here is where my French bakery is shutting down for a new restaurant. Very sad by that. It's definitely darker over here. So this is where the Pocket might show its colors and prove that maybe you don't want to get rid of your Pocket, or you may want to get a Pocket because of the low light capabilities. But yeah, this is the Action 5. And not complete low light, but not bad. Feel like it's performing well. This is the normal color profile versus the D-Log profile. But this will probably take me a while to to edit, but I'm excited to do this for you all. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to end it here, at least a comparison.